just the other day, Iran played against the U.S. Do you know what the U.S. soccer team? I can't believe I'm saying soccer. It says it on their official Twitter page. So I'm forced to say it. But the U.S. football team, they purposely altered Iran's flag right before the match. This is a few days ago, right? They were announcing on Twitter the match, and they removed the emblem in the middle of Iran's flag, which says God, which says Allah. They did it on purpose, right? Because basically they were trying to send a message that, yeah, we support the protests / riots that are happening in Iran. And when you're changing the flag and removing just that part, it's very targeted and specific. It means that they're against the Islamic Republic, because Iran's flag, you know, it's had different versions throughout history, but the current one since 1979, 1980, it has in the middle Allah, so it's stylized, right? It's this part. So when you're removing that, you're basically saying like Iran without the Islamic Republic. Obviously, Iran was very angry. They went and complained to FIFA, which is the governing body of the World Cup, and they were saying that the U.S. should be kicked out for changing the flag. So there it is. You can see the correct form over here in this picture. Once again, you know, it's always like, yeah, don't bring politics into sports except when we do it. When we do it, it's okay. When we put a Ukrainian flag, we love politics in sports. When we talk about, you know, changing the Iran flag, we love politics in sports. But if you bring a Palestinian flag, yeah, okay, we get the double standards, fine. So the U.S. team before the match, not even 24 hours, they succumbed, and they changed it from this to this. They put the correct flag back, and they deleted all the tweets, and I mean, that was just pathetic. Why did you bother doing it in the first place? I mean, I'm not okay with it, but you know, if you're gonna take a stance, at least have the balls to go through with it. They didn't have the balls to do that. They just like bent over, and like, you shouldn't do it in the first place, man. You shouldn't do that in the first place. I'm pretty sure they would not like it if Iran changed the U.S. flag and put, you know, cluster bombs instead of stars or something, right? Here's some other crap that I saw. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is from, again, you should not, for those of you who don't know, you should not take the Daily Mail seriously anyway, right? This is like gutter journalism in the UK, right? But anyway, I just want to show you something, because there was a story about how before the match started, the Iran players, they were refusing to sing the national anthem. And the media took that and they were like, oh my God, do you see how those brave players, they're sending a message, right? Their refusal to sing the anthem means that they are supporting the protests in Iran. That was the message in the media. And then a few days later, it became the opposite. Here it is. So the Daily Mail were saying that the Iran fans were in tears because their team was forced to sing the national anthem. So no matter what they do, whether they sing it or they don't sing it, it's always like something bad, right? I don't know what to make of this. I mean, you know, usually when you see Daily Mail, you should just ignore what it says, but this is just pathetic. It's such a blatant contradiction. Here's another one, right? This is from CNN. CNN were saying that Iran had threatened the families of the football team, of the football players. For what exactly? For not singing the anthem? Like, again, it's so vague, right? And I can't take this seriously. I really can't take this seriously. You know, there's another report which is even more ridiculous. This is from the Israelis. The Israelis were saying that Iran was going to plan a terrorist attack during the World Cup. I mean, what garbage is this, man? What is this? You know, Iran, they haven't qualified for the World Cup in a long time, and this is a very special moment for them. They played very well. They played really well, man. They beat Wales 2-0. I mean, that was insane. I saw those goals. It was in the last 2 minutes. They scored both goals in the last 2 minutes. Just slap in the face, man. Slap in the face. No one expected that. And then against the U.S., they played really, really well. They played really hard. They played really, really hard. And I want to show you something. The U.S. player, Anthony Robinson, embraces Iranian player Ramin Razayan after their World Cup game. This goes beyond sportsmanship. It's a reminder that people are more than politics and government. So in the end, Iran did lose against the U.S., so they didn't proceed to the knockout stages, so the round of 16. But still, you know, there's humility, there's sportsmanship, and that's what counts. You know, when you see this stuff, the headlines, they just become noise, right? It's just noise. So that, you know, Razayan, he played extremely good extremely good. I gotta say he was one of the best players on the Iran team. The performance was outstanding. They really played very, very well. And I hope that Iran will be there for the next World Cup. There are lots of, shocks and surprises. I'll get into that in a separate video, but still, here's another thing that happened. This is basically an attack on the Iran team, and you had a former German football player, okay, Jürgen Klinsmann. He was basically, I don't know what his problem was. Like, he was jealous that Iran beat Wales 2-0 or something. Like, I don't know what his problem is, but he was basically saying that, Iran players have a cultural disposition to cheat. So he's saying that they basically hounded the referee into giving them the goals. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just garbage. Here's the clip.
Of their attitude to the game and their, let's call it gamesmanship. You can call it something else at home if you like. And they did just that, and they just stayed on the right side of the law. For the referee, in another game, they might not have done.
Yeah, that's their culture. That's their way of doing it, and that's why Carlos Queiroz, he fits really well the Iranian national team, and he struggled in South America. He failed with Colombia to qualify, then he failed with Egypt to qualify as well, and then he went back right before the World Cup now and guided Iran, where he worked already for a long time. So this is not by coincidence. This is all purposely. This is just part of their culture. That's how they play it, and they work the referee. You saw the bench always jumping off, always working the fourth the linesman and the fourth referee on the sideline.
Constantly in their ear.
Constantly in their ears.
Is this guy a fucking doofus? This guy's a football player. Every fucking person on the pitch is in the referee's face over everything, over every fucking action and decision. They're hounding the referee. That's not something specific to the Iran team. What kind of a clown says this? Every single club and national team does this. Whether it's a friendly match or it's a cup. Does this guy even know what sport he made a career in? What a moron! You can go pick any football match you like. The players hound the referee because they're pissed, and they want to get the indirect. They want to contest that offside decision. They want to contest this foul. Every goddamn player from every team ever.
Kiefer Moore probably will tell you lots of stories after this game today. He had a lot of little incidents that we did not even see out here. This is their culture, and they kind of make you lose your focus. They make you lose your concentration and what's really important to you. And then they take you off.
The European ref would have been different.
Big difference with another referee, the Guatemalan referee, and I've worked for the US for 6 years. They went to Guatemala, Honduras, Costa Rica, and this fits their culture.
But it's the nature, isn't it?
Yeah, they kind of work it out. They have 5 people around them. They talk it out. The
linesman was from Wales. Well, his name was Wales, but he's from Trinidad and Tobago. But that didn't work for them.
So let's say it did not play in the hands of Wales.
I don't know what to say. I think he's just jealous that Germany sucked so bad. But to be fair, this was a few days before they got knocked out, but they were bottom of the group anyway. So it's just another salty German. I'm sorry to say that. No, seriously though, this guy should know better. And he named the coach by name. He personally called out the coach for Iran's team. This was the response from Carlos Queiroz, right? So he's Iran's coach, and he put out this response, and I think it was a good response. It was very straight to the point. And he said, quote, "No matter how much I can respect what you did inside the pitch, those remarks about Iran culture, Iran national team, and my players are a disgrace to football." It's true. It's true. Once or twice, I'm willing to forgive it because maybe this guy, English is not his native language. You might have a word that exists in French and German and English, but it has different meanings when you switch languages and registers. But he said it several times, and he's very clear what he's saying. He's not implying. He's saying it explicitly, right? He's saying that they're basically they don't know how to play, so they hound the referee. That's disgusting because Iran played very well. A lot of teams, this year were not quote unquote favorites delivered huge blows, huge surprises. Like Saudi Arabia beat Argentina 2-0. Japan beat Germany. What was it, 2-0 as well, or 2-1? Come on, man. Who could have predicted that? And Iran beating Wales 2-0. Respect that. You should admire that. You should be like, shit, these guys, they exceeded any expectations. They did magnificent. And instead, he starts bitching because he's jealous of them. I mean, that's just petty. That is petty, you know. Anyway, I just wanted to show you these different, political dimensions to the cup, because it's sports, but FIFA is an extremely political organization. The World Cup is extremely political, and you can see how everything spills over into onto the pitch, regardless of whether the players are saying anything themselves or not. I will say one thing though. Iran's first match, what was it, against England? It was 6-2, I think. So that, I think. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I feel bad for the Iranians, but it was nice to see England not suck for once. I'm used to them sucking, so that was actually nice to see them score goals. But you saw the next match when it was England versus US, they did shit. It was a tie. I think it's 3 times England played US, and every single time at the World Cup, right? And every single time it's a tie. I mean, that's pathetic. That is pathetic. They should have mowed down the US team. They should have demolished and destroyed them on the pitch. These guys that play in the English team are fucking Premier League. They play in the biggest top clubs in the world, right? They're playing either in Spain, or they're playing back in England at Chelsea and Arsenal and Manchester United. And they can't deal with some American players. No offense. I mean, the US team are good, but, there's a difference in caliber here, right? There should be. The paychecks, at least, right? Anyway, we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to talk about what, this specific dimension.